Yes. Yeah, good.
All right. Hey, Shalom Akim. And we'd like to start out by giving our honor and glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua by Shura Kakadash. A double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel. And peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. I'm Zahabah to my left. Hey, today we're going to go into a live stream, all right, entitled Rome, a Godless Empire. All right? Because now, as a matter of fact, can you get that in 2 Thessalonians until the week can be revealed?
Mm-hmm.
All right, because now, all right, the Most High have awakened us, all right, in this captivity that we are in. And now he's showing us, all right, the nature of the captivity that he wants us to unplug from, man. All right. See that every kingdom has a characteristic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this kingdom, all right, is ran by who? Edomites, man. All right. There's a book called what? Rome,
Mm-hmm.
or Rome, the kingdom of the Edomites. So Esau has a nature, all right, within himself.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he manifests his nature. All right, I got different scriptures popping in my head now. He manifests his nature in his kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I should get there real quick.
The 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, it says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition."
And that man of sin be revealed. Because Esau hides himself through different pretexts, through different guises, man,
Mm-hmm.
for lack of better words. He hides himself under the pretext of being white,
Mm-hmm.
under the guise of being Caucasian, all right, European. I mean, really, it's that old serpent Esau Edom, man. That godless serpent. That serpent who has that rebellious mindset. Why follow God?
Yep.
Why would you want to be under some oppressive ruler, some oppressive God? That's Esau's nature. And you hear it in comedians when they talk about so-called white kids. Why would you want to follow your mom?
Yep.
This is your rule.
Yep.
This is your world. You know, you shouldn't have to be oppressed under your mom.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but on a greater level, that's Esau's Edom personality towards our godly parents, man. Our heavenly parent, the Most High, man.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could get Sirach 10 chapter, some more to that.
Yeah, just get verse 9.
Yep.
It says, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan."
His coming is the water for getting it. Whose coming is after the working of Satan. All right. He came into power by way of what? Magic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The dark arts, man. All right. He tapped into his source.
Yep.
You know.
And going back to godless, Rome, a godless kingdom, because when you understand, the Roman Empire, all right, the reason why they was able, to be so successful, because they turned sin, into a convenience.
Yep.
You see,
yep.
They spoiled the earth through convenience, and this modern Roman Empire has done the same thing, because Satan seduces through what? Carnal, the flesh.
Yep.
When people sign up with Satan, it's not to be just rebellious to say, yeah, I rebel. No, Satan's offered things to the flesh.
Instant gratification.
Yes, that clouds your judgment. That's why Scripture say, even the dudes run, a gift destroys the heart. And what does Esau do? He constantly gives gifts to the flesh. Even with this whole, all right,
it says in Second Ezra, such in their life have received benefits, man.
They have not known me.
They have not known me. Godless, they have not known me.
Yep. So Rick finishes. I was at Thessalonians 2:9 said, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders."
Yep. And they going to this technology, are going to this propaganda, all right? Going to this media, all right? See, that's the nature of a serpent. The serpent seduces, man.
Mm-hmm.
He seduces you or enchants you through his philosophies. Mm-hmm. His philosophies is like into like venom, all right? It's seductive. That's another thing. People think that Satanism is it's dark, gothic. No, Satanism is seductive. Scripture says beauty is vain and favor is deceitful, man. All right, so the nature of your adversary, the nature of Satan is really to seduce you by way of what? Your flesh.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What you want?
Sirach 10, going into the characteristic of Rome. Well, Rome is really the kingdom of the Edomites, man. There's a song by Lauryn Hill that went into what? If I rule the world. Then it went into all the details of how the world would be if they rule the world. Well, Esau Edom rules the world. So he's putting the whole world under the vibration of him, which is really under the vibration of Satan. As it says, whose coming is after the working of what? Satan. All right?
It's the rock. Starting 1 or 2.
You can start at 2.
Okay. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 2. It says, as a judge of the people is himself, so are his officers.
Yep.
And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
All right, now that manifests today in the form of what? Westernization. Westernization of modernization is what? Esau making the whole world like it to himself. I've been able to talk to different people who are from different countries, and most of them, for the most part, tell me the same thing, that their country was this way until recently they started to adopt Westernization. So now those countries are in essence they're what? Adopting Satanism. So it says the way of a man is that's how his people are. The way of a king, that's how his people. Esau wants you to be like him. Esau was in the nature of Esau is naturally adverse to the ways of Yahweh Shai. All right.
And then when you go into it, like a woman don't understand, like what niggas don't understand, like that whole thug culture. Yep. They're just a branch of Satanism.
Yep.
You see. And then with the women, that whole feminist,
yep.
Boss diva culture, that's a branch of Satanism.
Yep.
Satanism got so many branches.
Yep.
All right. Like I say, it's not just, you standing in the pentagram,
right.
with a goat head,
yep.
blood leaking all over you, No, Satanism is a mindset.
It's a mindset.
You see, a woman that has a feminist mindset is a Satanist.
Yep.
A nigga that's trapped in thug culture, street culture is a Satanist, man.
And if I could just build on what you're saying, it's rebellion disguised as freedom.
Yep.
It's do as thou wilt. Christianity is a byproduct of Satanism.
Yep.
It's like I said, it's rebellion under the guise of freedom. That's why it says what in the scriptures? Rebellion is that's a sin of what? Witchcraft, man. Because the nature of Satan is really rebellion against Yahweh Bashim Hawashai. All right.
It says, what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
And that's why, and it's heavy, it's so many scriptures in the book of Rome. All right, the book written to the Romans, so many scriptures going to what? The flesh. The flesh. The flesh. Because like the brother's breaking down, all right, Satan works with you, all right, through your flesh, through your lust. So when Paul was writing to the Israelites in Rome, that was one of the key topics to the Romans, man. When the Israelites in Rome was basically had power over your flesh.
Rome was lit.
Rome was lit. Satanism was that's the center of Satanism. It's like New York or San Francisco or New Orleans, Atlanta, man. Rome was litty, man. Right? That was the key place of it, man. At the water of the bun. For rebellion is a sin of witchcraft. 1 Samuel 15:23, man. But it's all rooted in the garden. And just to give a quick synopsis, all right, in the garden, the serpent's philosophy was what? Rebellion against Yahweh Bashma Messiah. Thou shalt not surely die. But then in Revelations, the 20th chapter, it refers to Esau Edom as that old serpent. So how did he manifest himself? During the so-called dark ages or the end of the dark ages, he came out with something called reason. He came out with something called the Age of Enlightenment. Now, what is the Age of Enlightenment? The Age of Enlightenment is basically rebellion against traditionalism. Traditionalism is generally rooted in the ways of the Most High. So even if you was of another nation or whatever it may have been, a lot of your customs came from the Most High until the Age of Enlightenment. Enlightenment was basically saying, aha, there was no God that created everything. There was evolution. Or, you can be a homosexual or, criminality shouldn't be attached to morals. You see? That's the Age of Enlightenment. Like, okay, now we're civilized. We don't have to follow some religion.
We're beyond that.
We're beyond that. No, you got it, brother.
That's why you hear that term Bible days.
Yep. That was in the Bible days.
Yeah. But people have this mind frame like we live beyond the Bible days.
Yep.
Which is an illusion.
And that's the nature of Westernization. The nature of Westernization is if you're following the ways of the Most High, you're kind of primitive.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of like tribal.
Yep.
You know, now the civilized, the suit and tie way is westernization and the thought that there is no God, there is science. You see? And that's basically that's that serpent turned into the dragon,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And that's his philosophy, rebellion against the Most High.
Yep. I got a quick one.
Yep.
Now, this is to the church in Smyrna, because you spoke about how, Esau, Edom has turned the earth, into a satanic altar, man.
Yep.
You know? Now, when you go to Revelation 2 and 13, it says, I know thy works, and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is, and that thou holdest fast my name, and has not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you, where Satan dwelleth. You see?
Yep.
So even back then, these kingdoms coming in a heavy satanic spirit.
Yep.
You see, this is nothing new. It's just the most modern version of it.
Yep.
You see?
Technology.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think of Rome in the scriptures, I think of a carnival.
Yep.
And I can't remember at this point, but I don't know if carnival goes back to carnal. I could be wrong. But
it's all geared towards the flesh.
But it's all geared towards the flesh, man. Yeah, and the nature of Rome was like into a carnival, man. Mm-hmm. And now Esau Edom has made America like into a carnival, man. A freak show. A fucking freak show. Like you go to a carnival, you might have little midgets.
Yep.
You would pay to see the little midgets. You might see like a two-headed person or some shit. All right, that's America with like a Lil Nas X. That's a freak show. That's the midget, man. All right. You got the two women kissing each other like at a freak show, man. It's a carnival, man. That's Esau's mind. Esau's mind is sadistic. You should look up the word sadistic. All right. You should look up words like psychopath, sociopath. But his mind is very pedophilia, very like the nature of Baphomet is man and woman.
The divine gender.
Yep.
Yep. Because Esau, he likes to go into duality.
Yep.
So you thought that the divine, what they call it, hermaphrodite. Yeah, hermaphrodite. That's what he call it, divine hermaphrodite, man.
Hey, Elder got he got a quote: "When in Rome, do as the Roman do. You only live once." Now that goes back to Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. You always go into that. Mm-hmm. Like there is no afterlife, so you might as well live it up.
Yeah.
That goes back to Satanism. Yeah.
That word carnival, when you go into it, it's an element online. It says time of merry making, and it says when you go into the old Pasan, carnival, it says to remove meat. It said raising flesh.
Sheesh.
You see, so yeah, it does go back to the flesh. That word carnival, man. Yeah. Because there is just different, worlds of pleasing the flesh. Because right now our phone is a carnival.
Yep.
You can go to this app. Yep. You can be on TikTok and be,
amused.
Yeah, you can go on Facebook, go on Instagram. You can go to a dating site.
Yep.
You can go to OnlyFans. You can go porn. You got all these different. It's just amusement for the flesh. Yeah, Tinder.
It's a virtual amusement park.
Yeah.
Amused, like you're amused by it. You're constantly aroused.
Yeah, Amazon. Anything for the flesh is here.
Yeah.
It's like a handheld carnival.
Yep. And that's the nature of a godless empire.
Yep.
A godless kingdom is still a kingdom, so it's still a world power. It's still advanced per se in convenience per se. But what is worship here? Flesh.
Yep.
Are you supposed to say so?
Yeah, like I say, the flesh is the
centerpiece.
The centerpiece, because the pleasure. See, don't get it confused. Like there's something wrong with enjoying pleasure.
Right.
Sex is supposed to be pleasurable. Drinking wine supposed to be pleasurable. Right. Eating good food, those are supposed to be pleasurable. But there's a purpose to those things. Yep. You see, Esau takes away the responsibility. That's why you have abortion. Mm-hmm. Abortion is, we can have the pleasure of sex and don't worry about the responsibility of it.
Discard the baby.
Yeah. No, the hell with legacy, because sex was for the purpose of legacy building. Wine has its purpose, food has its purpose, but it's about being conservative with these things and moderate, man.
And that's how Esau keeps your ass in slavery.
Yeah.
Going back to that movie, The Matrix. He said the Matrix is basically all these distractions to make you forget that you're a battery.
Yeah.
So while you go to work 5-6 days out the week, Esau sets up your bars and your strip clubs and your pool tables and your games and not that there's there's nothing wrong with doing that, but he sets it up as a religion. They really keep you from distracted that you're a corporate slave.
Mm-hmm. And then, like I say, with the sex, here it is. You have an orgy. You and all these people having sex, but there's no family,
Nope.
no legacy being made.
Nope.
Just a bunch of just pleasure.
And that's how you know. And that's why Scripture says in Ecclesiastes, all right, woe to thee thy land, whose king is a child.
Mm-hmm.
That's a child.
Mm-hmm.
Pleasure seeking. They're not legacy building, man. Turning the world to a freak show. That's a damn weird ass child, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This is Romans 8:5, and it says, I started at 4.
Yep.
It says, I started at 5. It says, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. So what's happening now is the Most High has put a particular spirit on the remnant, the prophets, man, to do what, man? All right, have a mindset towards the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Our life ain't centered around the flesh. Now we do things in the flesh, but see, our life ain't centered around there. Like what we're doing now, this is for the spirit. This is building a nation spiritually. We're spiritually nation building. So now we mind these things. When this lesson go off, all right, we're gonna be having ideas of another lesson. You see, but in the world, once you knock down one woman, now you thinking of the next one. You see, or you smoke this blunt, you thinking of the next one. You do this, you thinking of the next one, and the next one's a never ending. But see, now we're in the spirit where we serve the spirit. Now it's a never ending cycle of serving the spirit, and the flesh is in between. You serve the flesh in between, here and there to moderation. With moderation within the standard and the liberty of the law. You see?
Was it on that?
Is that this is 6? It said, for to be carnally minded is death. But to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
And the brother just put that on the board, man. Carnally minded is the nature of pleasing your flesh all the time, which really is rooted back into Satanism.
Because when you have a mindset to please your flesh, your standards drop. You see? Now, okay, you justifying dealing with this man's wife. Well, you know how much danger you just put yourself in? All right? You justified hitting this lick so you can have a lot of money so you can get this bad chick that's been turning you down all year. When you live after the flesh, now your decision making becomes horrible.
Period.
You see?
Because we all, if you're in this truth, you basically royalty. But then when you give yourself over to the nature of your flesh, you'll be talking to low-level females, low caliber, all this goofy stuff that really knock down your self-worth just to get that thing off, man.
Or end up in the projects.
Risking your damn life.
You bought some Newports for her.
Man. They're gonna be doing that crazy shit, man.
The 100.
Man.
Look at it.
We go slims and all that, man. Just to talk to, hey, we all about caliber, man. Hey, we high born, man. Like I said, brother, do what you do in your liberty. But when you become a servant to your flesh, that turns you to a little peasant, man.
Crazy shit.
That's why I say he who goes out the harlot should be counted as spittle. It's not that you couldn't deal with an actual harlot. It's like, these low-level females, man.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
Put a lot of stock into it.
Come on. And that's that word.
The word carnal, which is in the Greek is sarx. It says the sensuous nature of man, the animal nature.
And the animal nature. But you got this guy LaVey, all right, the progenitor of the New Age Satanism. He was like, Satanism is basically you not being oppressed by some guy because your natural disposition is to go off your beastly nature.
Because the flesh don't care.
The
flesh just want to eat what tastes good.
All
right? The flesh don't care about nutrition. Flesh don't care about no, goddamn, no carbs, no keto. Flesh don't know what that shit is. The flesh just want to feel good.
Intermittent fasting.
The flesh don't care about wife and husband. And, no, the flesh just wants to be pleased. Like the spirit, all right, And even when you go into the law was set up to govern the flesh from destroying itself. You see? Because you have an animal, all right? You have a damn, tiger. You see? And what that tiger do, man, it'll try to take down, an animal, like a hippo or something.
Yeah.
He hungry.
Yeah.
He not thinking of the dangers. He not understanding the dangers that this hippo can kill his ass with one with one bite. You see?
Well, those predators that try to go out there like a porcupine with all the spikes.
Yeah.
You got spikes all in your nose and stuff, man.
That's what the flesh don't make good decisions, man.
Never.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's Sirach 37. Give not thy soul. Let's see. Just give me 1 second.
I said, give not thy soul.
Where's the scripture that personifies a soul as a she, like a person? Might be Sirach 18. It's a lot. Okay, yeah, Sirach 18:30.
18:30.
Yep, going right into the lesson.
Okay. Oh yeah. All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 18, verse 30 says, "Go not after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thy appetite."
No, you will never hear this on an American commercial.
No.
A commercial about go not after thy lust and refrain thyself from thy appetites, man. At the water for posting that too, brother. You get the next verse.
Verse 31, and it says, "If thou givest thy soul the desires that pleasure her, she will make thee a laughing stock to thy enemy."
But it personified your flesh, because really your soul is yourself, it's your flesh. But it personified it as a human.
Yep.
That goes to show you that your flesh has its own
agenda.
Own agenda, man.
The flesh and the spirit on two different agendas.
Yep.
That's why Apostle Paul say how the flesh war in the spirit.
And we're saying this because it's part of the greater theme of the lesson. This is Rome, a godless empire.
Yep.
But a godless empire is all about the flesh.
Yep.
It's all about pleasing the flesh.
Yep.
And
this is how you know what we're doing is spiritual, because we don't have an orgasm doing this. We're not building muscle doing this.
Ain't no women outside knocking on our door when we stop filming.
Ain't no food going into us like a fulfillment. No, but it's a spiritual fulfillment that food can't give us. That sex can't give us. It's a spiritual fulfillment when we do this, man. All right, that money can't give us, man. You see, so it's best to be in the spirit as much as possible. And every brother, got a balance. All right, but even within the balance, we still have to use moderation. That's because I know personally this flesh will cut up, man. This flesh will get out there in them streets. You be busting donuts on the interstate, man. All right, looking at the phone.
80 and the 60 for the ticket.
Call him up. He ain't even no name on the number.
No.
Who this is?
You look at your phone and see you got a text back. You ain't hear that alert. You ain't hear nothing, man.
Freshen your shit.
Yeah, man. And we in Babylon too, man. Hey, it happens, man. But you gotta mitigate that stuff, man.
Yep.
Sometimes because it's all about self-government, right? Somebody told me we're talking about economy. That was like in the real economy, you can't really cancel out crime.
Yep.
You can't cancel out drug dealers and prostitutes and all that. What you can do, you bring it down to a minimum and you regulate it. Same thing with your flesh. When you govern your flesh, you can't just be a stoic for real or a eunuch literally, but you regulate it.
Yeah,
you minimize it, man. All right, and that's the reality of it, man.
Oh, let me try. You got something on your comment board.
Oh yeah, con.
Lighten you up over
Yeah, con.
They got the bun shooting up the charts.
Yeah, con.
This is GMS punished the wicked, the brother Elder Bun. This Sirach 19:2. It says, "Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away."
That's the bar scene.
Yeah.
Because Elder Apostle Hart said, don't do clubs. Now, if you ain't careful, you'll slip up and make an effort to turn the bar to the club. That's wine and women.
And it said, "Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that cleaveth to harlots will be impudent.
And it's something I noticed in this truth, man, is that when you get what you want, it's gonna come at the cost of something else.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get when you actually out there and you nice and you just do it back to back, weekend after weekend after weekend, you start losing something, man.
You're gonna start going backwards.
Yeah, you're gonna start going backwards, and you're gonna be out of tune with the body, and the body gonna be looking at you like, man, your spirit off, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
You know, because the spirit, this is what the spirit wants. This is all the spirit wants to do.
Yeah.
Like that's why Yahweh Shai say the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Yeah.
You see, the flesh is very weak, man. The flesh gonna always give in, but see, the spirit, all right, that's where the resistance comes from within the flesh. And see, the spirit always wants to do this, man. You know, it's teach and be, you know, in the spirit, you know, reading and researching, doing something for the spirit. All right. But if you're never doing that, the spirit like, damn, I don't get no outlet. I ain't got no outlet.
Yep.
You know, the flesh balling.
Yep.
All right. Pop,
yeah.
You know,
and because their flesh is like Rico from Paid in Full.
Yeah.
You know, another their club, Rico was filming himself dealing with the woman. He was Dougie Fresh. Your flesh is just like Rico, man. It's just wild, man. It's ready to fight it when women is, you know, Alpo. In real life, he's Alpo.
Yep.
What's that nigga went back to the spirit world? You know.
All right. This is the brother anointed refreshing 144. Ecclesiastes 9:6, it says, "Give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou lose not thine inheritance."
Yeah, you giving all your energy, all your time and energy into pleasing your flesh with these different women.
Yep. Hey, cause Jake talk on the phone for hours.
Yep.
You know, Jake could talk and text for goddamn hours, man. You like, goddamn.
Yep.
This is a nigga came to work with a goddamn. Y'all older brothers probably remember. Y'all remember R. Kelly had that headset on the Bump and Grind video, you know, like the trucker. The nigga came to work with one of them, man. Talk to the goddamn woman all day, like, goddamn. You know? But that's giving your energy and time. And see, you can physically, you know, go broke dealing with women, but then in the spirit, you can be bankrupt, you know, because you have no knowledge of nothing else. But goddamn, you know, talking to a goddamn woman. You see?
Because although it's a lot of enticement on the internet, there's a lot of information on the internet too. You can skyrocket intellectually and spiritually just by what you invest your time and energy to now, man. Because the information is like this now, you know?
Jake invest into the flesh, like, you know.
And the average Jake at a certain age, he didn't master females. He's not a fool to women, but the problem is that's all you know. You know.
This is another from Elder Bond. GMS punish the wicked. Proverbs 27:20 says, "Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of men are never satisfied."
And that's the nature of your flesh. That's the nature of your flesh, is that it's always on to the next one.
They showed it. They got precept to show this talking about Esau. You know, because when you go to Habakkuk, all right.
Oh yeah.
Call the boy straight out. All right. This is Habakkuk 2:5. It said, "Yeah, also because he transgresses by wine, he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied."
Hey, and Esau, because going back to Sirach 10, he's made us like him. Because he transgressed by wine. This is philosophies, democracy, Christianity, the losing of freedom. But then he's never satisfied with the resources that he extract from these countries. All right, bankrupts these countries, put them in debt, man. All right, but he's never satisfied because he's still doing it 2021. You know?
It says, "But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." They're doing too much spirit. Hey, because like you say, when you're pleasing the spirit can be quenched. You know, like we can do this lesson and kind of, you know, chill for the night, be good, you know, do it in the morning, you know, tomorrow, whenever. But the spirit, you know, will kind of be good. But like I say, the flesh, it want to go to this club, that club, you know, the after party, the after party, you know, the day party. You like, God damn. You know?
And you know, and sex was never meant to be an extension of porn.
Yep.
See, with this little online dating stuff, sex is basically it's an extension of porn, and there's no fulfillment with that.
Yep.
See, that's the problem with the flesh. You never fulfill. You never satisfied, man.
Yep.
And that's what's dangerous because now you know what that means. You're gonna need more and more to an extreme, man.
Yep.
So now you can't just deal with a woman. Now you need a threesome or foursome, and now you need this and that, man.
Yep.
The Most High set up your nature for self-destruction. He set up your flesh for self-destruction. So if you actually invest in your flesh, the ultimate result is you're gonna die.
You're investing in self-destruction, your own self-destruction.
Yep.
Hey, because like you said, like in the spirit, man, you understand that you're getting them, because, and this is speaking all hypothetical, but you can see how the Most High got it set up and in the kingdom, like, when as a king, when you make decisions, you might not even directly benefit from it, but the fact that you know that your decision put other people in a better situation, that's a fulfillment in the spirit. You see, Esau makes decisions based on wealth.
Yeah.
All right. This nigga put chemicals and all this. He'll create a council. All right. He'll create all these council calls and foods just so he can come over here and sell you the pharmaceuticals.
Not even factored in, like so many people are dying.
Yeah.
Like
he just is, but it's pleasing to the flesh because he's making money over here, money over here. Like
how he knocked so many trees down to build factories.
Yep.
Wait a minute, we can't breathe without trees.
Yep.
But y'all, he cares about that instant gratification of wealth building, man.
Yep. Because even with King Solomon dealing with the baby, the child and the two harlots, like that decision didn't benefit Solomon at all.
Nope.
But that wise decision, it had to feel good in his spirit.
Justice.
Yeah, justice, man. Yeah. That's what being in the spirit is when you can make a decision where you don't get financial gain or instant gratification, but just knowing, all right, that you benefited, all right, just like now teaching in the spirit, like we benefiting the nation, brothers teaching all the time, benefiting us, and we benefit brothers, and vice versa. So we're moving in the spirit, and we all benefiting each other, and we don't require, no instant gratification or no type of, we ain't got no secret agenda,
You're gonna start selling you breakdowns.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
the album, lessons just stop in the middle.
Yeah. By the rest.
Yeah.
$19.99.
Plus my album.
Yeah, you got an album dropping.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Bum.
Yeah, you got like the cake blowing in the wind. No, it's spiritual fulfillment and it's a spiritual investment.
Yeah.
We're building out, we're conducive in Yahweh business of rebuilding our nation. That's fulfillment in itself, man.
Yeah. This is Galatians 6 and 7. It says, "Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Yep.
For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption."
Because the Most High already wired the flesh. He already wired the flesh for self-destruction. He already wired the flesh to be opposition to him. That's why it says in Colossians, the law that was written contrary to us.
Yep.
You
look at niggas like Lil Wayne, Dennis Rodman, Trick Daddy. Yeah, damn.
They threw.
Yep. They sold to the flesh.
Yep.
And then you look at the apostles.
Yeah.
You see,
yep.
Those men sold to the spirit, and they're constantly increasing in output.
Yep.
You see?
And then they're 20 years older than those men you just named.
Yep.
Then the apostles are like, what, 50s pushing close to the 60s?
Yep.
All thing they have is grace.
Yep.
Everything else is youthful.
Yep.
Because even when you eat a certain way, like you eat more, if you take away processed food from your diet, you eat a little more plant-based, that's really sowing to the spirit. That's healthy for your spirit, man. You fasting, your flesh damn sure hate fasting. But you know what type of investment you're doing for your spirit when you fast? Then it prolongs your life, man.
It says, for he that soweth to the flesh, to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
Yep.
But he that soweth to the spirit shall of the spirit reap life everlasting.
Because the end result is that we sow in the spirit, then we get those new bodies, we're going to have immortality, man. We're going to have immortality. And another thing I want to bring out too is that a college degree or success or being westernized does not mean you're civilized, man. we're in the height of a base man. That's why it says in Daniel 4:17 that he gave his kingdom to the bases of men. Then in Job 30, it refers to Esau as what? A base man. All right, but that base man came into power. But that doesn't mean that man is civilized or superior, man. He just a caveman in the height of his power. Okay?
It's the word Philistines in the Webster.
Because where did we get that word from? Because it was an antonym to another word.
I think it was cultivated.
Yeah, because we were looking up cultivate. Because if you look at the word cultivate, it basically goes into curbing the passions. Mm-hmm. It has other definitions too, but if you look at the word cultivate or culture, somebody that's cultured,
yeah,
they become cultured because they've learned how to curb their brute nature. Mm-hmm. All right. So the opposite of that was what this brother's going into. Yep. I want to go into how we came up with that.
And it says Philistine says a person who is guided by materialism,
yep,
and is usually disdainful of intellectual or artistic values.
Yep.
And that's that thought coach. Like, look at the Cardi B.
Yep. She's plays dumb.
Yes, she dumb as shit, but she in a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
You know, with them purses of Birkin.
Yeah.
You know, some shit like that. So she has a material things, but you know, you can tell you can't talk to her women like that. Like, cause see that modern woman shit, Esau, especially that thought coach, they so goddamn dumb, man. Yeah. You know?
That's why the scripture says what? Our forefathers warns us, man. Give not thyself over to a light woman. Yeah. You sent me that video. I didn't get a chance to watch all of it. But it's basically don't reinvest in women who have nothing to lose.
Yeah. You'll lose everything.
You'll lose everything. So you giving yourself over to a light woman, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Like you say, they so materialistic, but when it comes to, it said they have a disdain of intellect or artistic value.
And Jacob clown you for that, man. Yeah. Like you in the classroom reading. It's like you kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You eat something that's healthy at work. Jacob clown you, man.
But he rolling the blunt.
Yup.
And he the man.
Yup, with love handles, man. Mm-hmm. Hard, man. All right, but this doesn't remind you of something? Yeah. So-called black culture, so-called thought culture, man. And also the American culture. The rest of the world perceives Americans as dumb. But Americans are the height of gluttony. They're the height of entertainment. All right, this guy Trevor Noah, he jokes about Americans in sports. He was like, Americans, they know everything about sports and nothing about politics and the government.
Agriculture.
Yep.
Food supply chain. Niggas don't know how nothing works.
No.
Like you say, outside, a nigga can tell you, who won the finals, in '83.
Yep.
Can tell you pretty much play by play.
Yep.
Well, I say when it comes to things of substance, like, okay, what can I do to heal myself from the earth?
Yep.
All right, I'm having problems sleep.
Yep.
What herbs help with it?
Yep.
I'm having low energy. What herbs help with it?
Yep.
Child sick. Like what's clear mucus? What herb? You don't know nothing about the earth. These stones give off this. You can sleep with this stone under your pillow. It's so much to know about the earth and the uses of the earth, but niggas only know things that don't matter.
Yeah, and something that Elder Pastor Bar said a long time ago, he was like, Jake doesn't want to be enlightened. Jake wants to be entertained. Mm-hmm. And that's a Philistine, man. Yep. And a Philistine is essentially a damn Edomite. Mm-hmm. So now that we know that in a base man's kingdom, his God is really materialism. Mm-hmm. And that makes sense because you're a bastard.
Yep. So
you're disconnected from Yahweh Shema Shai. The only thing you have is materialism.
Because that's how Jake ranked themselves.
Yep.
Like Jake, like when you listen to these different artists, like, and there ain't no morals, in it. They rank themselves by how much money that they have obtained within their career.
Because if you look up the word fool goes into godless. Mm-hmm. Then I believe in the New Testament, like wicked, it basically means somebody that transgresses. But basically, the 2/3 in nigga culture, they're fools. Mm-hmm. But they have material things. Mm-hmm.
This is 1 Timothy 5:6. It says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
Yeah, you can go into that, bro.
Yeah, so going into what? The materialistic mind frame. You know, you have especially, you know, these women in the city, you know, they go on these multiple dates, you know, per per week.
Yeah.
You see, all these different men, all about being flown in and flown, you know, all these different material things. And why is that, man? All right. Why is that? Because this is a materialistic, you know, society, man.
Yep.
All right, everything is based on what do you have. That's why Facebook and Instagram is so popular because what you can show off what you have, man, what you have obtained, what I'm eating today.
Yep.
You know, you can leave crackers. Yep.
You go. We get close to that, brothers. You got some more scriptures. 1 John 2:15.
First John. All right.
All right, because like I said, the nature of Rome is celebrating living without the Most High, celebrating going after the flesh. Do as thou wilt.
Yeah,
birthdays and feasting,
yep.
chambering, lasciviousness, which lasciviousness goes back to lust. Concupiscence goes back to like basically lust.
Yep.
All right, these different affections.
Unlawful sexual.
Okay, the water.
Yep.
Unlawful sexual conduct, which is where we get the word Cupid. All right. Also, there's another one, inordinate affection.
Yep.
Lewdness. All right. It's a damn freak show. It's an amusement park. It's a carnival, man.
Yep.
You know.
This is 1 John 2:15 said, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
Yep.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him."
Because the world, especially at this time and period, the world is all about the opposite of Yahweh Shema Shai. And the opposite of Yahweh Shema Shai is what? Pleasing the flesh all the time. Making a religion out of pleasing the flesh. All right?
Verse 16, "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever."
Yep.
And say that this world, which is the society, all right, pass away, and the lust thereof. Because see, in the kingdom, when you have land, when you have stuff that's a harlot is not needed.
Nope.
You need a woman that can with some value, that has wisdom in particular things to aid you. Like this society, the reason why the lust is like it is because everything's so convenient. You got the concrete, the city, you know. But see, when you like in the kingdom, when everything when these nations go back to being self-sufficient after that 1,000-year captivity, like a harlot not gonna be coveted like it is now. You know, it's a prize if you get one of the Kardashians, or, you know, one of these, you know, Hollywood women, Amber Rose. That's a prize. All right. But in the world to come, there's gonna be nothing. You're not gonna be looking for that. You're gonna be trying to build your legacy, man.
Yeah, brother brought out GFS Kodash Bun God, that Bacchus spirit.
The parade and party.
Yeah.
In the streets. Yep.
Yeah. The con. So hey, you know with that, you had anything else?
That was it, bro.
And we hope you brothers and sisters edified, man. All right, once again, want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh by Shema Kakodash. Never understood our elder apostles and elder bishops, great millstone well. Peace and blessing has to do with the elect, Abba Ba. Come Shalom.
Shalom.